Hello everyone and welcome back to another Set 26 deck review. I'm Dylan and once again I'm here with Angel.
Hello again.
And today we are going to be going over the red Goku and 18 deck. So, new deck from Set 26 coming out. It's a red 18 and Goku leader from the Super 17 saga. So let's go into the leader first as always. So when attacks, look top 5 for any Saiyan 4 or less or a red extra to your hand at any cost. That's pretty neat. When you awaken, you have 2 more energy, a red Zenith with a specific cost of 1 in play. You draw 1 on tap 1 and take 2/6. As an interesting awaken side, whenever a Goku GT card is played from the drop, your leader actually gains this skill until the end of the turn, at the end of your opponent's turn. Activate battle. You can activate a activate battle skill on a red extra with energy cost of 1 from your drop by paying its skill cost and then remove it from the game. And as another activate main source battle, you draw 1, discard 1. So the discard actually does proc on some of your battle cards because they actually do require them to be discarded. So the leader actually doing it itself is pretty interesting. You can do it on both turns, which is nice. And then being able to use any extra cards to activate battle skill from the drop is also very interesting. So, what's your opinions on this deck, Angel?
The leader is very cool, but we'll see. I don't know about its viability. This is definitely like a locals deck, I think. I might be proven wrong later, but it's cool though.
Yeah, it does some interesting stuff. It has some cool plays with like some older cards you can do. So that's neat. So let's go into the actual main deck now. So we have these 1-drops. Trunks is just the top 5 for any 3 or less Saiyan or any mono red extra card you add to your hands. As a limit 1, where if your leader's a red GT Goku card, whenever this card in your hand is discarded by a skill, look top 5 and you get to place a red extra with energy cost of 1 among them into your drop. And then the Goten, I'm pretty sure, is the exact same thing, just in case. Just he draws instead of actually doing it, so. Or he draws instead of top 5ing, so. That's a way to get extras into your drop to proc your leader effect, right?
Yeah, it's just a way to fuel basically your hand, which is your drop. Get them out of because you prefer them in drop than in hand, the extra cards, because they're going to cost 1 in hand, but they'll be free in the drop. So you want to get as many battle cards as you can in hand and as many extras in drop as you can with the deck thinning.
Yeah, it's very easy to proc that too, and your leader does draw and pitch, so very, very easy there. Then we have the 2 costs here, so we have this 2 cost SS Goku dual attack for 1. Whenever he's discarded by a skill, you get to draw 1 and play him from your drop. So this is a way to play guys from your drop, which is the leader does 1 Goku is played from the drops. This is usually the way they're going to be played. So that's how to activate battle. You can just choose one of your cards and give it 5k power for the battle. So obviously you can give it to itself to be a 15k dual attack for 1 swing. Or you can give it to like your leader or something. Interesting card. It is only 10k, but it is a dual attack for 1, so that's kind of interesting there. It does draw, which is neat. And then we have this other 2-drop. It's deflect instead of dual attack. When this one's played, you draw 1, and then you play it from the drop. Whenever it's discarded by your hands, you pay 1. And when this one attacks, you get the combo 1 from the drop. This one's actually 15k, so it gets you a Z energy, which is pretty neat. How important do you think these 2-drops are to the deck?
I mean, you unfortunately have to run them. The 2 cost with deflect is decent, like a 20k that Z charges 1 basically and draws 1. This is definitely like what you'll want to do turn 2 over the other one, but the other one you need because you need targets every turn. You need to do that effect of playing a guy from drop every turn in order to turn on your free extra cards from the drop for both turns. So this card just kind of sucks. I really don't know why it could be a 15k. I don't see it being a problem being a 15k, but I guess because you can play it on your. No, I have no idea. I mean, it's pretty decent for running over like crappy unisons, I guess. Knock 2, ones with like low power, knock 2 markers off of it, but that card's pretty bad.
Yeah, but unfortunately you gotta play because you need targets to play from the drops, so
Yeah.
there is that. And then we'll go into the 3-drops now. They're both SS4 Gokus. This one has Barrier, the same way. You pay 1 when it's discarded, draw 1 and play it from the drop. It's 20k. When this one's played, look top 5 and then place a red extra among them, which are energy cost of 1 to the drop, and then shuffle. This is another way to get an extra in the drop for your leader effect. And there's also a Barrier 1 cost, which is neat. And the other 3-drop is Deflect and Double Strike. Same thing when it's discarded from your hand, you get to draw 1, play it from your drop for 1. And when this one's played, you get to choose a battle card and it gets minus 10k power for the turn. So this one seems pretty nice on opponent's turn. Pink Double Strike and also minus something by 10, so like a little bit of interruption. since you can discard your opponent's turn. You think so?
Yeah, definitely. He's the best one, the deflect one. The barrier one's super nice too, with one of the extra cards we'll see later. So like once turn 3 hits, you're allowed to start using these, but you unfortunately have to run the crappy 2 cost still because you have to activate one on turn 2. So maybe you could get away with only running 4 of the deflect guy and then running 4 and 4 of these, but I mean the SS4s are just always going to be what you want to play instead. They're so much better.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it. And then I gotta mention that they did reuse arts for this Goku,
Yeah.
so all the anniversary box. That's pretty unfortunate for us. No new art for that. We're going to the SRs now. So we have this 4-cost Goku. It's a Deflect and Triple Strike. He plays the same way for 2 instead of 1. If your opponent has 3 or more energy, whether if he's discarded by one of you or your opponent's skills, it's actually different. You play from your drop and against barrier for the turn. So yeah, this can be a way to be like an anti-hand destruction card for your opponent if they do play that stuff. Obviously, people are playing like the 8-drop Gogeta and stuff, so this is a cool way if you have 2 energy open to just play it. Whenever you or your opponent activates a skill on an extra card with energy cost of 1 from your hand or drop, you get to choose 2 of your total cards among all cards in your opponent's battle cards and unisons, and they get minus 15k power for the turn. This is another way to proc stuff on your opponent's turn to also get like a board neg, which is cool. How good do you think this card is in the deck?
Oh, it's amazing. Perfect. It's exactly, you want to do this as often as you can. So I think you're gonna pass with most of your energy open. Most turns you're gonna pay 1 for one of your guys to turn on your effect and get like an extra card effect, but then you want to just pass it. This is always like a threat because it's pretty nice to just slam down on their turn, be able to neg their board, get a triple on your own turn.
Yeah, it's nice that the auto's not once per turn on the second one because your opponent can also activate an extra card, so they can proc it again to minus their whole board. So that's kind of cool.
It's neat.
So,
Splashable too.
yeah, it would be a very good generic card if you're scared of hand destruction in red decks. You can maybe play this if you're able to keep 2 energy open, which most red decks can't, but on this deck especially would be very good. Then we have this SR Android 18. She's dual attack. She plays for 1 if your leader's ready of 3 or more energy. You play from your hands, and then you get to place up to 3 red extras from your drop underneath this. So obviously you build a bunch of extra cards. So it's not going to be that hard. Activate main, you get to place a card from underneath this into the drop. You get to choose one of you or your opponent's battle cards. It gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. But additionally, if that card has 30,000 power or more, it must be placed into the drop. So you can buff something, but if it does go to plus 5, it does die. So it's a way you got to be careful buffing your own cards. You will be killing them, but you can also buff your opponent's cards to kill them that way, which is neat. It's definitely a 4 of in the deck. You think so?
Yeah, for sure. 25k dual attack for 1, and potentially you could board wipe your opponent if they poop out a bunch of 30ks. You can just give them all 5k power each and then just put them in the drop. So pretty cool. Good card.
Yeah, very, very nice 1 cost play on your own turn for board clears and stuff. Very, very nice there. We have a super combo that was made for the deck. Just a GT Vegeta basic, just draw 1. I guess it's searchable, but I mean, is there any reason why you wouldn't run Reddits over this?
No.
Yeah, didn't think so. So
Yeah.
we'll go into the actual extra cards that were made for the deck now. They want you to use from the drop. So we have the Double Strike Explosion. Active a battle if your leader is both a Goku and Android 18. You draw 2, discard 2, and then you get to choose a red Goku GT card and give it 15k power for the battle. Additionally, if you have an 18 card with 20k power or more in play, the chosen card gets another 10k power for the battle. So it can be a 25k combo. Draw 2, discard 2, which will obviously proc your Gokus to play from the drop. It seems like it's a given deck to play in the deck, right? Especially since you use this for free off the leader, right?
Yeah, you can use it for free, or you can use it early too to start setting up your drop. Draw 2, pitch 2 is very nice to cycle and set up your hand and your drop however you want it. And for a finisher, yeah, 25 is pretty nice if you got the 18 on board.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of power coming at your opponent, so very good there. Then we have the Polar Strike, 10 times Kamehameha. You switch your leader with both GT, Goku, and Android 18 to active mode, and they get to give one of your cards 5k power for the turn, and they get to choose a red GT Goku to give it blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. So this is neat. You get to give your leader blocker if you really want to. You get to switches to active mode. You can also make your leader restand to swing again, which is neat. So it helps like swing through floodgates. Or you can just bean your leader on your opponent's turn too, which is neat. It's just like a very, very nice card to play on opponent's turn, right?
Yeah, very good for opponent's turn. Very nice on your own turn. But like you said, if you get hit with a floodgate, then your leader's a 20k dual attacker to get through that. And if you've got the barrier Goku in play, you can just give that blocker for your opponent's turn as well.
Yeah, being a barrier blocker is also very good. So we're going to the last one, which is Exploding Energy. You get to choose one of your red Goku GT cards. You may give it 15k power for the battle, and if you do, you draw one. Then choose all of your opponent's battle cards, and they get minus 10k power for the turn. So this just seems like a very, very good defensive card to use. Just 15k combo for 0, and it can draw and clear your opponent's board, which is a very, very nice activate battle defensively, right?
Yeah, depending on how you're set up or like what kind of swing your opponent's doing. This one's more situational. It'll definitely be good too to get rid of like weenie blockers and stuff like that. But it's a good card. It's probably the weakest out of the three of them.
Yeah, for sure. So, alright, we'll move on to the Z deck now. So we have this Piccolo Z Unison. This is the one they want you to awaken with. As a +2, it's 5k. If leader's backsides both Goku GT and Android 18, you get to draw one and discard one. So obviously that'll proc your effects. There's some more ways to do that. And as a -4, we get to activate main, draw 2, discard 1 card from your hand, and get to choose a battle card and give it minus 20k power for the turn. The -4 will probably never come up because it's just a 1-drop Unison. Most likely will die, but the +2 does seem to help a lot to proc more of your effects. Yeah, what do you think of this Unison?
It's just you have to run it, but it's not bad. I don't think. It's a consistency booster, so it's compared to some other crappier Unisons we've seen for the set, this one's decent. It's middle of the road. I like it.
Yeah, at least it's a +2, so your opponent has to put a little more work into killing it than a lot of the other ones this set. So
yeah,
there's that. Alright, we'll go into the Zextra for the deck. So every red deck has to have a Zextra now because of Explosive Dance. So at least they actually built one for the deck, so which is nice. As a permanent, where if your leader is a red GT Goku and Android 18, if you're red GT Goku, then it costs a 4 or less will leave the battle area. You can discard a card from your hand instead, and then you remove it from the game. So it's like a once per game defense effect to keep something alive, which is neat unless you're playing against red. Activate battle. If leaders has both GT Goku and Android 18, discard one card from your hand. You get to choose an opponent's battle card and get minus 5,000 power for the turn. So it's kind of like a way to get extra cards out of your hand, and then also neg something on the board, which is kind of neat. And it's for the turn, which is actually pretty nice. How good do you think this extra is over like time set Kamehameha on this deck?
It ends up costing you less Z energy overall to get its effects because you don't have to sack like 2 like the other one does. And this is a deck that does not stack up Z energy very well because it's extra card heavy, and your battle cards are all very important to be played out. Like nothing's just like a comboable 5k. So this is probably what you're going to want to go into, I think, most of the time to set up your dance. It's okay. It's a decent card. That first effect is better to save something.
Yeah, it kind of sucks it has to remove itself to do that, but it is kind of nice that you can save something once, I guess.
A fair card.
Yeah, for sure. At least they gave the deck a Z extra, so they know how important dance is for red decks. So that's the entire main deck. So we'll go into a deck list that we made. So we're pretty much playing most of the one guys. We are playing less of this 2-drop, like Angel was saying, because he's not as good as this guy. But you do kind of need targets to play off discards, so there's that. We are playing a lot of other red extra cards also. Roam the Gods doesn't activate battle. Very, very nice. It's just a 15k combo, and it also draws one, which is pretty nice. Or you can just KO something on your own turn, which is neat. Explosive Dances are obvious. And then the one of Yamcha, just in case the Unison, it's a +2, so 3 markers on turn 2. You can usually just Yamcha whatever they play instantly if you have that. Pan's pretty interesting in here because you do buff a lot with the extra cards. So if you buff one of your battle cards, you get to actually use this on either player's turn, which is neat. You get a draw and a neg, which is cool. Broly is just there for having some 1 cost plays on your own turn. This is just a nice one, 25k crit swing. Obviously, this you can play this on your own turn for a 1-cost swing. We're also playing the new TP, which it's pretty nuts. 25k dual attack as long as you have your opponent has more cards in the battle area than you, and you get to minus your own board and KO any number of their board 25k or less, which is pretty crazy for only 1 energy.
Yeah, just 25k dual attacker even without the other stuff is just kind of nuts for 3 energy or 1 energy. I'm saying after turn 3, it's just I mean like you don't even have to do the power neg thing. You know, you can just play it and swing 25 2 times. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, for sure. But it's pretty standard. I mean, you are a red Saiyan, so you play mono red, so Vegito is pretty obvious. Pretty obvious you play that. Yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add, Angel, about the deck list?
No, I mean just it's gonna need testing. I feel like its kill potential is kind of limited. You got big pokes with the extra cards with like your leader or whatever guy that you get out there, but there's not a lot of like, how do I describe it? You can't really put the gas on. Like you I guess you could. I guess you do have a lot of 1-cost energy plays. Like in my mind, I was thinking only the leader pitches, but the unison pitches, the Z extra pitches, you've got plenty of ways to do it. So actually, you can play a lot of guys for 1. It's just there's not a lot of in archetype targets that are very good. That's the issue.
Yeah, I guess they made them a little worse because you can play on either player's turns, so they've tried to make them not too good. But
yeah, it'll be an interesting deck, and it's very tanky with the free extra cards and all the extra cards in your hand.
Do you think
like it'll be pretty hard for your opponent to poke through?
Do you think draw power might be a problem in this deck also, since leader doesn't plus on draws?
Yeah, it'll be an issue. Well, you technically plus because the card you pitch draws a card replacing itself, and then you draw a card with the leader replacing it as well. So that's how you get the +1. But I can see it being an issue. I can see you getting flooded with extra cards too. That can be an issue. There's lots of ways to pitch them, but you're going to draw into them with super combos and stuff like that. And that I think will be the main thing. Is like you got to think of it as like a deck full of 10Ks basically. +1 10Ks. So be mindful of that. Make sure you leave up a lot of energy.
Definitely seems like a deck that you would need to set up first, like a lot, before you're like really get going. So
yeah, you got to stall a lot, and then you don't tap to like 1 energy until you're sure you're like, or you have like a very high potential of killing that turn. I think that's like, otherwise you're just doing a bunch of like do nothing turns and like play 1 guy and poke over and over until you get to a turn where you can definitely finish him off.
Yeah, it definitely seems like what it's going to be. But yeah, I'd probably rate this on the lower end of the decks of the set. You think so? Like maybe bottom 3, but not like terrible, right?
No, it's not terrible. It feels weird to say that it's like a bottom 3 deck because it's decent, and usually there's total ass in these, but I think it is. It's bottom 3, but it is still decent. This is a playable deck.
Yeah, it just goes to show how well they designed a lot of these decks this set. They even like the lesser powerful ones are still pretty decent to play. Like they could do stuff.
I bet somebody will break it too. Like this has stuff where I'm sure there'll be like if you like go super late with it, you find a way to go super late. You could even play stuff like that unblockable King Piccolo, where if they negate, they take a damage, deflect double strike, it ramps markers. The Piccolo does everything.
Yeah.
Like you could probably, and then you just like dump extra cards behind it to give it like a ton of power. Like there will be ways to do that.
This is definitely
somebody will figure something out. I'm too stupid to play this deck.
This is definitely a lot like the Cell deck, where it's very very complex. So you got to like think a lot about your plays. But it seems like you could definitely outplay your opponent a lot with a lot of the like interactions you could do on your opponent's turn. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, but that is the Red Goku and 18 deck coming out in set 26. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Obviously, we'll have deck lists in the description if you guys want to try it out. Let us know in the comments what you think of the Red Extra Card 18 and Goku deck. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Goodbye.